Thanks, Chris. My name is Mike Godsey. I'm doing the problems portion of our speech. According to Donna Bate in 2010, the senior editor of the Gale Publishing Group, she defined abuse as any abusive, violent, forceful, or threatening acts or words inflicted by one member of a household or family. Most people who report domestic violence are people from the workplace, as they notice that the victim has a poor performance at work. It's usually not the abused, the victim, because they're afraid of retribution. According to statistics from the National Coalition of Against Domestic Violence in 2020, over 10 million adults experienced domestic violence annually. According to the National Domestic Violence Service in 2020, on average, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience some sort of rape, physical harm, and or stalking by intimate partner. In 2018, partner violence made up 20% of all violent crimes. Intimate partner violence, IPV, is the most common of those between 18 and 24. Approximately 23% of women and 14% of men have experienced some sort of physical harm by the intimate partner in 2018. From 2016 to 2018, domestic violence cases increased by 42%. Finally, 19% of all domestic violence cases involve lethal weapons. At a certain period of time of emotional and mental abuse, a lot of times the abuser can turn to physical violence. Traumatic experiences can leave victims with a number of kind of disorders: PTSD, depression. It can also lead to a whole array of health issues, such as a higher risk for heart disease and stroke, chronic pain, and a more likely risk of becoming addicted to alcohol and banned substances. The abused person can also display poor performance at work, in addition to just really not being there. They're kind of just absent-minded because they're so kind of beat up and scared. Between 2 and 60% of victims who experience abuse have lost their jobs due to the situation. Finally, being abused as a child and an adult can affect other people in their lives, not just the victim itself. For example, if you're abused while you're younger, you're more likely to become an abuser when you're older. I also have a few kind of little visual aids. This is kind of a graph of the relationship between the abuser and the victim. As you see, the highest number is the son is the highest kind of portion of who's being abused. And this is kind of a diagram of why they do what they need to do. The big main point is power and control. I know it's backwards for you, but I will read it to you. Using intimidation, using emotional abuse, using isolation by isolating the person, minimizing, denying, and blaming, using children, using male privilege, use of economic abuse, and using coercion and threats. So these are just kind of the ways that they do these abuse. They just want the power, they want control. So next I'm going to introduce Christina to speak about the causes of domestic violence. Thank you so much. Now that I have a second, I am fully dressed, tie, shirt, shoes, black pants, earring to match the tie, and I don't have an audience. So again, here's Christina. Thank you very much.